ready to unlock a core piece of English grammar, one that'll make your speaking clearer and more confident.
I think we're all ready for that.
We're diving deep into the present indefinite tense. You might know it as the simple present tense.
It's a fundamental building block for everyday English.
Think of this as your cheat sheet to understanding this tense.
So you can speak and write more accurately, naturally.
We'll break down what it is.
How it works.
We'll even tackle some common mistakes people make.
Plus, we've got some fun tips.
Yeah, for actually using this in your spoken English.
Not just in grammar textbooks.
So the present indefinite tense, why should we care?
It's all about actions that happen regularly. General truths, fixed schedules, the things that just are.
Okay, I'm seeing that. Like, I go to school every day. That's a habitual action, right?
Exactly. Or the sun rises in the east.
Universal truth.
Understanding this helps you convey accurate information about the present, and it builds a foundation.
A foundation for what?
For more complex grammar.
That makes sense. So how do we actually build sentences in this tense? What's the structure?
The formula is pretty straightforward. Subject plus verb plus object.
And that verb is the base form of the verb.
You got it. No fancy endings, just play, eat, walk.
Okay, I'm with you. So she plays tennis. Simple.
Exactly. Now for negative sentences, we just add do not or does not before that base verb.
So she does not play tennis. Got it. What about questions?
We just invert the subject and the auxiliary verb do or does.
Does she play tennis? Okay, I always mix up when to use do and does.
It's a common mistake. But remember this quick tip. Do is your buddy for plural subjects. Does steps in for the singular ones.
Oh, I like that. Like a little grammar dance. Do for plural, does for singular.
Exactly. And speaking of common mistakes, there's this interesting thing with certain verbs.
Like what?
Verbs that describe states rather than actions. Words like love, believe, understand.
Interesting. So you wouldn't say, I am loving this song. You'd say, I love this song.
Perfect. It's a subtle distinction, but it can really make your English sound more natural.
Okay, rules are great, but how do we actually USE this tense naturally?
That's the key.
Our source material has some great tips. Let's unlock them.
Let's do it. One of the simplest yet most effective techniques is active listening.
Active listening, what do you mean?
Immerse yourself in English. Podcasts, news, anything that grabs your attention.
And really pay attention to how native speakers use the present tense.
It's all about absorbing those patterns naturally.
You know, it's funny. When I was learning Spanish, I would actually mimic the newscasters.
That's a fantastic strategy.
It felt silly, but it helped. So don't be shy about mimicking what you hear.
Exactly. It's like training your ear and your mouth to work together.
And speaking of practice, even talking to yourself can be helpful.
You're not alone if you do that.
Describe your daily routine out loud. What you're thinking, anything.
It reinforces those grammar patterns.
And of course, any chance you get to talk with other English speakers, take it.
The more you use it, the more natural it becomes.
Oh, and flashcards, don't forget those.
A classic for a reason. Great for building vocabulary.
And with all the apps out there, flashcards are super convenient.
Right. No more bulky stacks of cards.
You know what else I found helpful? Recording myself speaking English.
Oh, that's a good one.
It can feel awkward at first, but it's like having your own personal language coach.
You can listen back, pinpoint areas you want to improve, track your progress.
Exactly. So we've covered the formula, the tips.
Now it's time to put it into practice. Think back to a recent conversation you had in English.
Okay, I'm thinking.
How could using the present indefinite tense more accurately have changed how you expressed yourself?
I probably could have made things a bit clearer, yeah.
Maybe you could have described your daily routine more vividly or expressed your opinions more strongly.
It's all about making those small shifts.
Shifts that make your English sound more confident, more natural.
And the best part is, it gets easier with practice. Don't be afraid to experiment. Have fun with it.
Exactly. The more you practice, the smoother it will become.
Thanks for diving deep with us today. Keep exploring the fascinating world of English grammar.
And we'll be back with more deep dives soon.
See you then.